It's Christmas! Your hot crush is at the party you've been dying to go to, and there you see her, a few steps away from the most magical of moments, the hanging mistletoe. But hold up, this moment wouldn't exist without, you guessed it, the Vikings. The Vikings didn't invent everything, but they can claim this one. You're a hop, step, and a kiss away from learning how the Vikings brought us the Christmas tradition that so many adore. This is History Unfolded. Can you believe it? To start us off, we jump back more than 1,000 years, where the ferocious and bloodthirsty Vikings are happily plundering and pillaging the poor hapless English along the coast of Great Britain. But believe it or not, while the Vikings are often seen as raging madmen, after their returns home they also had a softer side to them that's often overlooked. They did in fact value peace, celebrate festivals with family, and engage in family life. Before we show you that side though, to help History Unfolded continue in our epic journey to bring you the unseen corners of history, would you mind liking and subscribing? It would truly mean the world to us. On with the story. Starting off this tradition, we do a quick dive into Norse mythology. After Thor, the god of thunder, Odin's second favorite son was Balder, the god of light and purity. Balder was a god loved by everyone, a symbol of hope, renewal, and spring. Very few, if any, gods or men hated him in any way. The gods considered him invulnerable too, and he was, except for a single plant. You see, the story goes that Balder began having nightmares that he was about to die, which was kinda weird since he was invulnerable, yeah? Frigga, his mother, was pretty worried about this, and so she went around to every natural element, living or not, and made them all swear not to harm Balder, and they all did. But there was one plant that Frigga didn't bother with. She thought it was too young and insignificant to matter, and that plant's name was mistletoe. Now here comes our beloved Loki, ever the trickster, who found out about this and made a mistletoe dart and got a blind god to accidentally kill Balder, which utterly devastated the gods. They were actually so distraught that they even tried lots of different ways to bring him back from the dead. That's how important he was to them. But that's a tale for another day. It's a pretty sad state of affairs, especially for Frigga. It's said that Frigga's tears fell and became the white berries of the mistletoe, and she declared from that point on, mistletoe should never again be used for harm, and only ever for purposes of love and peace. Here's where we say goodbye to the mythology and hello to the real world and the Vikings that started this tradition. The Vikings believed in their mythology very strongly, and if Frigga believed that mistletoe was to bring love and peace, well, they definitely believed it. Being a warrior race, the Vikings battled constantly, but even they needed periods of peace. While mistletoe could be used to kill someone, it served a dual purpose. A tradition stood that if two enemy warriors met under the mistletoe, for that day at least, they would embrace and lay down their weapons until the next day. It was due to this tradition that the Vikings also hung it over their doors to ward off evil spirits, since mistletoe stayed green in the winter, and in their minds it meant that it had life-giving properties. As such, mistletoe became widely used in Viking culture, even going so far as to be used in rituals for fertility and to honor the gods. Of course, this didn't stay that way, and over time as Christianity spread to Scandinavia, many old Viking traditions were either Christianized or adapted, with mistletoe being one of them. People like Saint Boniface saw value in repurposing pagan symbols like mistletoe, which gelled with Christianity's message of forgiveness and love, itself being a symbol of peace and love. It became a time where Christian meanings were being overlaid onto festivals and traditions that already existed, so that the transition was easier to Christianity. At this time as well, it isn't exactly certain, but the practice of kissing under the mistletoe was likely adopted already by the Vikings and reinterpreted under Christianity in the context of love and goodwill. As the years passed, England, with its strong Norse influence, started integrating lots of pagan customs into Christmas celebrations, transforming them into Christian celebrations. Like, for instance, how the winter solstice became Christmas. While there was some initial resistance to mistletoe in churches, others saw it as an opportunity to integrate and overlay Christian beliefs into already established customs. Hundreds of years passed since then, and in the modern world, the roots and origins of mistletoe and its Viking roots have all but disappeared. Now, kissing under the mistletoe is seen as a charming part of Christmas, but let's not forget that it's also a decoration that to this day represents love, peace, and forgiveness. It's amazing how time changes cultures and practices, showing how they evolve with the times, yet still survive in their own way. So, did you expect mistletoe to be a Viking tradition? Isn't it fascinating the threads that connect us all as the Christmas season blossoms around us? There are so many ties that bind us, and we here at History Unfolded love bringing them to you. Like our video on how the horse's ass made the space shuttle. Sounds crazy, right? Don't believe me? Just click on the video to have your mind blown. And if you enjoyed this journey through time, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. And we'll see you in the next one.